Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another Meta Guide video. This time it's going to be in the Weather Cup for the Great League. So we had the Weather Cup for the Ultra League in a previous season. I think it was last season. This time the Weather Cup is going to be in the Great League, so it's a different meta. But yeah, it begins Thursday, which is tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same with the Open Great League. So are you going to be playing the Weather Cup, or will you be playing the Open Great League? I'm definitely going to be trying out the Weather Cup, and who knows, maybe I want to go into the Open Great League. We'll see. But yeah, we'll talk about it, see what Pokemon I think are going to be really good. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So for the S rank, we do have Lantern. Lantern is going to be so strong in this meta. Both Watergun and Spark, I think, have play. Yeah, just going to be a good Pokemon. As long as it avoids grass types, and believe me, it has to avoid grass types, it's looking pretty good in this meta. So then we have Cradily. Cradily is another great option in this one. Yep, just really strong grass attacks, right? It has Stone Edge, powerful Pokemon. Yeah, just a powerful Pokemon. Great safe swap, I think, in this meta. Then we have Abomasnow. So, yeah, Abomasnow with Razor Leaf or Shadow Abomasnow. Razor Leaf is going to absolutely dominate. I think double Razor Leaf teams are going to be really strong with like Ludicolo and Abomasnow, and there's other Razor Leaf users as well. But I think double Razor Leaf teams are just going to be so strong because there's so many water types in this meta. There really is. Or either we have water type Pokemon or dual type water Pokemon that either take neutral damage or double super effective damage. Yeah, Razor Leaf definitely going to dominate in this Weather Cup. I'm sorry to say, but that's the case. Then we have Lilip, which is Cradily's pre-evolution, which is going to be strong, but it does have to be excelled. I don't really expect to see this too much. It is really good, so, you know, you might see it here or there, but I don't expect to see it too much. I'm not going to use it. I might have enough XLs. I don't know how many XLs it needs. I just know it needs to be XL'd. Maybe not too much. I don't know. So maybe we'll see it if it's not too much, but either way, it's going to be pretty solid. And then, yeah, Ludicolo with Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf is just gonna absolutely dominate, I think. I really do. Not many answers to it. There's some answers, like, for example, Abomasnow. Abomasnow is resisting Razor Leaf, but I imagine it's still doing a good amount of damage to it. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, Razor Leaf definitely going to be great. And then for the A rank, we do have Swampert. Swampert is another great Pokemon in this meta. It's just, it does have to watch out for those Razor Leaf users, which I do think are going to be really strong. Bastrodon, if it can get good alignment, for example, up against the Razor Leaf Abomasnow, doing pretty good, doing super effective damage. Yeah, I mean, Bastrodon is going to be really strong. Just needs to avoid the water types for the most part. And there are a lot of water types, but if it can get alignment against Arachnoid, for example, which is next on the list, it's looking pretty good, or against Pelipper. But Arachnoid is really tanky. It is taking neutral from Razor Leaf, but it's just really strong. And it can debuff with Bubble Beam, of course. Then we have Pelipper. Pelipper, I think it's pretty good. There's a lot it has to watch out for in this meta. It does have to obviously watch out for Lantern. It has to watch, I mean, it's taking neutral from Razor Leaf, but it's still taking a lot because it's a really frail Pokemon. So, yeah, obviously it has to watch out for Bastrodon as well, but still, I mean, pretty good Pokemon. I think it's pretty good, yeah. Then Toxapex is another tanky one. Yeah, another, water type, but it's also, it's not just a water type, it's a poison type. It's poison, right? It should be poison. But no, it's poison type, and it is taking neutral damage from Razor Leaf, but it's also dishing out super effective damage towards the grass type Pokemon. So, yeah, I mean, really strong Pokemon there. Definitely going to be doing really well. Probably one that I will be using. Then for the B rank, we do have a couple Pokemon. We have another Razor Leaf user, Lombre. I think you probably won't see Lombre too much. It doesn't have to be XL'd. But you'll probably see the Abomasnow and the Ludicolo if we're talking Razor Leaf. But we also have a Alolan Sandslash and Blaziken. Alolan Sandslash is double resisting Razor Leaf. And, you know, it's doing a lot. It gets to those Ice Punch attacks really fast. I think this is going to be a pretty solid Pokemon. It also has Bulldoze, so it has coverage against Lantern and Bastrodon. So Sandslash, I think, is going to be really good just so it can answer those Razor Leaf users. Yeah, I mean, Sandslash, yeah, definitely going to be really, really strong in this meta for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And Blaziken, of course, is resisting Razor Leaf as well. But it is really frail, and it does have to watch out for all the other water types. So I do think it's decent. I think it's pretty good. but I think Alolan Sandslash is going to be a better Razor Leaf answer. But yeah, Alolan Sandslash probably going to be on a lot of teams, I think. Maybe it could be bumped up a little bit, right? Because I think Alolan Sandslash is going to be pretty solid. So that's going to be the SA and B tier for you. And for the other options, we do have Regirock. Regirock is okay, but the thing about Regirock is, first of all, it's weak to the Razor Leaf, but it's also weak to the water types that we have. So it has to find that good alignment, right? But if it does, it's going to be doing pretty well. Then we have Quagsire, another mud boy, similar to Swampert. Swampert's going to be better, but not bad. We have a couple more water types. We have Politoed, we have Wishcash. Again, as I mentioned, bunch of these water types going to be weak to Razor Leaf. Obviously, water is weak to grass type attacks, but no, I mean, those could be solid. I mean, Lantern and Swampert are better, but you might see those occasionally. Then we have Regice. Regice is another interesting Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be taking neutral from Razor Leaf, right? Neutral from the water type Pokemon, so it doesn't necessarily have to worry about those. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. I think Regice could be a decent pick. You might see it occasionally. I actually might use Regice, to be honest. We have Marshtomp, so Marshtomp, another water type. And then we have, Tyrant. So Tyrant could be interesting. Tyrant has a Dragon Tail, and of course Dragon Tail is going to be strong. Not many Pokemon resisted. Obviously the Bastiodon does, but other than that, it's doing neutral damage, and it's a powerful attack as well. So obviously the Sandslash resisted as well, but if you can avoid those Pokemon, I think it could be pretty good, to be honest. And then we have Poliwrath. Poliwrath could be pretty interesting with the Mud Shot. Scald, obviously, Dynamic Punch, Ice Punch, whatever moveset you want to go with. And then we have Samurott. So Samurott, yet another one. A couple other Pokemon, we have Coolfish and Empoleon. Both of those are taking neutral from Razor Leaf, but the thing is they're still taking a lot because they're squishy Pokemon. Right, so they're still taking a lot of damage from Razor Leaf, and I know I'm talking about Razor Leaf a lot, but I really do think it will make an impact in this meta. So if you want to go anti-meta, anti-Razor Leaf, I think the Sandslash and the Blaziken, especially the Sandslash, I think Sandslash is going to be great in this meta, probably the way to go. But no, I mean, Coolfish could do really well because even though it's really squishy, it does get to the moves pretty fast, and they'll probably get a shield. At least you could maybe bait with the Aqua Tail, and then you're also running either Ice Beam. What does it have? Sludge Wave. So I think Coolfish I think could be a pretty interesting pick. And then Charizard, of course, is double resisting Razor Leaf, so really solid there. But it does have to watch out for all the water types. That's the thing. Like, even though fire types are resisting the Razor Leaf damage, you might be doing well against those. You have to watch out for the water types that are actually pretty common. Obviously, Charizard has to watch out for Bastiodon as well, which I think will be relatively popular as well. So that's why it's on the other options team. I think it does have play, but it does have to watch out for other Pokemon in the meta for sure. A lot of Pokemon in the meta. It has to watch out for a lot of Pokemon. Yeah, it does well against Razor Leaf, but it does have to watch out for a lot of Pokemon. Then we're going to move on to the solid team options. So for the first team, we do have the double Razor Leaf team, as I mentioned, with Ludicolo. And we also have that Abomasnow, and I put Swampert in the lead. If you want to pick a different lead, you can think about it, but I put Swampert in the lead because it's going to be doing well against, it's super effective damage towards Blaziken as well as Charizard. And then against the Alolan Sandslash, yeah, they have Ice Punch, which is neutral, but you could take a couple Ice Punch attacks, and you could threaten it with Earthquake. Obviously, Hydro Cannon is going to do a lot, so if you could maybe lure out the Sandslash with one of the Razor Leaf users in the back, or if they lead Sandslash, who knows? I think Swampert is looking pretty good there. The Razor Leaf uses audition out neutral damage towards Pokemon like Bastiodon, although Abomasnow is weak to Bastiodon. But if you switch into Ludicolo, maybe you could lure it out and then Swampert, or lure it out with one of those Pokemon in the back. Swampert obviously does well against Bastiodon. And I am liking Earthquake here because it could hit like the Lantern as well, right? Even though you have coverage for the Lantern with the back. But I think Double Razor Leaf, going to be popular in this meta for sure. And then the next team, we have an anti-Razor Leaf team. I wanted to build a team like this. So I have Ludicolo with Razor Leaf in the lead, and then we have Alolan Sandslash and Blaziken in the back. So of course Alolan Sandslash and Blaziken not really doing too well against water. That's where the Razor Leaf user comes in handy. Yes, Sandslash, I guess, can against like Swampert because Ice Punch is neutral. Lantern, you do have the Bulldoze, but Bulldoze is not really a powerful move. But the Razor Leaf user Ludicolo has you covered. And then the back line, doing well against Bastion, right? Blaziken with super effective counter damage. And then Sandslash does have that Bulldoze. Even though it's not a strong move, it is double super effective. And Shadow Claws are adding up. You do get to it pretty fast. So I think that could be a pretty interesting team. We'll have to see how it plays out. And then the next team, we do have Lantern with Credilli as a safe swap, and then Bastiodon. So Lantern, you could go Spark, you could go Water Gun. I kind of am leaning towards Water Gun on this team, but you could go Spark as well. I mean, even if you go Water Gun, even if you're up against a Pelipper, it's still fine, because obviously you resist all the Pelipper's attacks. Bastiodon does well against Pelipper anyway. I think that could be a pretty good team. As I said, Credilli as a safe swap. Yeah, really solid, really solid. And then the next team, we do have Lantern in the lead with a Razor Leaf user in the back, as well as Arachnoid. So definitely want the Water Gun on this one, I think, because the backline kind of struggles to Bastiodon. Razor Leaf, I guess, is doing neutral, as we mentioned earlier, or as I mentioned earlier, but still, Bastiodon is so thick, right? And then Lantern obviously going to be doing well there. And yeah, I mean, Arachnoid can do well against the Razor Leaf users, even though it's taking neutral damage. It's still doing well, super effective damage towards like Abomasnow, as well as Ludicolo or Lombre if you happen to see it. I don't think we're going to see many Lombre. I think we'll probably see the Ludicolo and the Abomasnow, but we'll see. Yeah, no, I mean, pretty powerful Pokemon as well. I'm excited to see how it plays out. The next team is going to be Toxapex in the lead with Bastiodon and Swampert both in the back. So, yeah, I mean, pretty strong team, I think. Obviously, you do have, it's kind of like, you do have a Water type in the lead. You also have a Water type in the back. But the Water type in the lead is not weak to Razor Leaf. Whereas it's also doing super effective damage, right, with the Poison Jab attack. So, Toxapex pretty solid against Razor Leaf. Obviously, Bastiodon is going to do well, of course, as we've discussed, against like Abomasnow and things. And then the next team, we have Alolan Sandslash, which I do think will be strong in this meta, with Lantern and Credilli. So Credilli looking to be a pretty strong safe swap, as I already discussed. And Alolan Sandslash, I think, is just a great Pokemon in this meta. I mean, think about it. It has play against Lantern, even though it's not great against Lantern because of the Bulldoze. It has play against Swampert because of the Ice Punch neutral damage. Obviously, it's resisting the Razor Leaf attacks. It's taking neutral damage, I guess, from like Bastiodon Smackdowns, whereas it has Bulldoze, double super effective damage. Taking neutral damage from the Stone Edge from Credilli, right? Doing neutral damage to Pelipper. It has play against a lot of different things. Obviously, not against like Blaziken, but you know, because of the counter damage, double super effective damage. I don't know how common Blaziken will be. We'll have to see. But either way, this is going to be the Weather Cup Great League edition for you. And as I mentioned early in the video, let me know which one you're playing. Are you playing the Open Great League or the Weather Cup? And I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.